Today, I'm going to tell you a story from a discovery call that I was on this past week. I am really excited to share it with you because it's a premium example of what I talk about all the time. Welcome to the Up in My Business podcast with me, Lex Lancaster, where you'll get an inside look at all things tech, business, and my life as a physical therapist turned digital operations expert. You'll hear all about my lessons as a business owner, the ins and outs of tech for your business, and more. From SEO, websites, and email marketing to automations, launches, and copywriting, I've got you. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. Today's episode is brought to you by Jane, a clinic management software and EMR. Now, we all know that choosing the right EMR can feel a bit overwhelming, especially when you're just starting out. You're trying to juggle both your practice needs and your budget, and that's not always the easiest combo. Well, that's why Jane came up with the best new balance plan. It includes the essential features you need to keep things running smoothly in your clinic without the extra fluff that you don't. One-on-one telehealth, unlimited support, email reminders, and more are included no matter which plan you choose. So if you're looking for an EMR that helps you focus on your patients, not your costs, Jane is here for you, just like a part-time assistant. Plans start as low as $39 a month in the US, $54 a month in Canada. Visit jane.app/pricing to learn more. And if you're ready to get started, use my code LEX1MO. Again, that's LEX1MO at sign up for a 1-month grace period on your new Jane account. And you will see that linked as well in the show notes. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Up in My Business. I am your host, Lex Lancaster. Thank you so much for listening. This week, I'm showing up in a little bit of a different energy than I have in the past couple of weeks because I had mentioned multiple times, and shout out to people who listen to the podcast and have, whether they know me personally or professionally or what have you, and have just reached out and just said, how are you? Or I hope things are good. I don't ever expect that. This is not like a test by any means. It's truly not a test. I feel no type of way if you don't reach out. But I just want to also acknowledge the fact that there are people who listen to this podcast that know me in my personal life and I see weekly, and also people who I have actually never gotten to hug in person, and they reached out to me asking about Moose and asking about, life being lifey, what have you. So just thank you. Again, I don't ever expect that. And, when it happens, it just makes you feel really good. And life is so busy and so fast. And once, there was a time in my life where I was young, I can't even remember, Lord knows how long ago it was, but where it was I wish that I heard from X, Y, and Z recently, or I wish that I could hear from this person. And I'm saying this because I feel like everyone feels this way. And then you look back and you're thinking in this moment in time, everyone is so effing busy and time flies by so fast. And so now, at any point in time, if I have a thought about someone, I will just shoot them a text and I'm working on this because Shantae does it really, really well. But I'm working on, if I'm having a mental thought about someone, I just shoot them a text, let them know I'm thinking about them, just because life is so freaking short. The world is wild right now. And also it's just one of those little things that I think does go a really long way. Especially if you're you receive love via words of affirmation like me. So when someone says something, it definitely goes a long way. Today, I'm going to do life and business stuff. So life updates just real quick. March has kind of been a shit show. It started off really great, went to Santa Barbara for my birthday, and then life just got really lifey for a few different reasons. But I'm a human and, I go through things too. Obviously, business-wise, I've still been showing up in the same way because Shantae says it really funny. She's I would throw myself in the road if I didn't show up. And so I'm still showing up in my business and on Instagram and in the podcast and what have you. But March has been just really wild. I'm Right now I'm showing up with a lot better of energy. Moose is feeling better. We are still like on the mend. I don't really know what the deal is, but she, for lack of better terms, her bathroom habits are just not back to totally normal. And I don't know, like, what is going on. She's on a probiotic and she's on things and like, I don't know, either way. She's doing better though, because it was not good. It was not good at all. So I am grateful, thankfully, she is doing better and eating and going to the bathroom and just on a normal schedule again for the week and a half that it was her being sick. I'm going to be honest, like Moose is a golden doodle and golden doodles have a lot of freaking issues, and Moose does not have issues, like knock on wood. Since she was a puppy, she has never had an issue. People you can go back into early episodes. I don't know. People used to warn me about getting a puppy. They were like, you don't want to get a puppy. They're going to keep you up at night. They're horrible. They will bark. They will whine all night long. They'll need to go out in the middle of the night. I am not joking when I say that Moose literally slept through the entire night as a puppy. I never once had to get up in the middle of the night with her to like go out to the bathroom. And I don't know. And she wasn't like a big dog. She was still, I think when I picked her up, she was maybe 10 pounds. Like she wasn't huge, but either way, I would definitely feel like I like hit the jackpot with Moose because she was a very easy puppy. So when she gets sick, it's so frustrating. But what I will say, and like this is just speaking to the fact that, and this is like so off topic, but whatever. I think you enjoy it. I have pet insurance. So the best thing about it is like when I go to the vet, I know that I have a deductible to meet. And that deductible isn't high. Like it's not a lot of, when we think about vet bills, it's not high because you walk into the vet for anything and you walk out with a $500 bill. But regardless, it's not high for the vet. So, I look at it as a situation where I have this pet insurance. So even if she's sick, I'm like, I know that I will hit my deductible in the first visit because it's always $500. And then after that, they pay 90%. So I'm like, okay, whatever this dog needs, just give it to her. I'll pay the money. And also animals, people don't think about the cost of a vet and they don't think about the decisions they have to make when you go to the vet. And it's so weird because the vet will and the assistant will ask, like, do you want us to go forward? Here's the bill, or here's what the bill is going to be. And I'm like, I totally didn't think about the fact, like, if you don't have a lot of money or if you don't have pet insurance, like, it's a legit decision. And also, I said no to the x-ray. They were like, we think she ate something. And I was like, I don't, like, Shantae and I were sitting next to each other and we were like, no, she doesn't eat things. Like, that's not Moose's MO. She does not eat food, she does not eat socks. She does not eat underwear. She does not eat stuff. Like, apparently that's like I know that's a big poodle thing, but apparently dogs do that. Like, they'll eat toys. Moose is like, we've never had that issue with her. But anyway, the long and the short there, she's feeling better. So that's good. Other personal stuff, playing a lot of volleyball. I am really sore. I kind of did like low key workouts with Betsy for 2 weeks. And I came back this week and and I'm actually like pushing hard, and she's got me doing like weighted pull-ups, weighted push-ups, and what are the other things? I'm doing a lot of single leg stuff, and I am just sore, but also playing volleyball really well. Shantae and I played volleyball this morning. It's Friday. We played this morning. Shout out to Mads. I know she listens. So we played this morning with a crew, had a lot of fun. It's always really fun to play when you honestly, like, it's fun to play with Shantae because it's very predictable. And it didn't used to matter when we weren't, I will say, like, past the point of being decently good. Because we were both in like this learning situation where, like, I played volleyball in high school, so I had like some skills, but beach is completely different. Shantae did not play, but Shantae is very athletic, so she can just pick up a sport and it's literally not a big deal. It's incredible. But we were at a place where it was like, we're still like learning the skills. Well, now we're at a place where the baseline skills are there, and now we have to polish things. And like, when you're polishing skills, it's really tough to switch partners because it's two of you on the court. So if you don't understand like how to predict your partner, or if your partner is unpredictable, or you don't play a lot together, it can be difficult. And it's nothing against the other person. It's just when both of you don't know each other, it's difficult to play with that person. So it's really nice to play with Shantae because it's very predictable. And even if like I'm playing bad or if she has something that goes wrong, we both know kind of like what to say to the other person, because we are very different in a sense of like how we respond to, I'll use the words playing bad. But either way, it was a great morning. It was such a good morning. And then now I am back doing work. I like recording the podcast on Friday. I don't want to do it on Sunday anymore. So I'm really trying to make sure I get it done during the week. I don't want to do it on Friday either, or like make it on Friday. I'd love to do it on Thursday or Wednesday. I don't know. But either way, really liking this schedule, not doing it on Sunday night. It is getting warmer in California. That's also another big update. People think that it's Mexico here. Shantae says it a lot when people come to visit. They're like, it's not Mexico. And I didn't understand until I lived here. And now that I've been here for 2 years, like it's a very consistent thing. I think people think that we live in like 80-degree weather all year round. And like, it's not 80-degree weather. It is like maybe, it's 55 when we wake up, and during the winter it's like 45. It's actually quite cold. And then we're on the beach, so it's windy. So it's not Mexico. And at night, it's always cold. That's one thing that I love when we go back to Pennsylvania for Shantae's family in July. We get to experience the warm nights, because nights are not warm here ever. So we're never sitting outside next to a fire with warm air. It's always cold. So that's something I definitely miss about the East Coast, but the warm nights are not a thing here. So but it being warm during the day and being sunny is great. I actually, like, people who listen to this podcast know that I have been going through a little bit of like this year, my word of the year was intentional. And I was doing coaching and therapy at the same time and like really loving it. I have an update about that. I'm only doing coaching now, and I have an update that I'm not entirely sure I'm going to go like in a lot of detail about, but I do want to talk about it because I know it's a problem and I know that people go through this, and I know I'm not alone. So I will talk about it at some point. I don't know when, and this is not like teasing you because it's like a big ball dropped. No, it's just like I need to figure out, like, collect my thoughts around it. And I also need to figure out how I want to relay the message around it. But I am only doing coaching now. So my coach, Mandy, I still will I will put her on the highest pedestal. I feel so good working with her. And if you are looking for someone to work with, I would recommend her hands down. I just such a great experience. So I don't know. I'll give an update on that at some point. Business stuff. I'm going to be honest with you. I am busy. So I haven't been posting like, here's my workday on Instagram, but I am so fucking busy. I am so grateful. The reason I'm saying like I am busy, and the intonation that I'm using behind that and the tone that I have, I guess is what I should say. I am, how do I word this? I am as busy as I like to be. So I know Molly Galbraith talks about this a lot. It's like saying no because that my plate is as full as I like it to be. And that's where I'm at. Like, my plate is as full as I like it to be. And honestly, there are some days where I'm like, I need to figure out how to get rid of this specific thing. So I'm like, there are things going through my mind. I am still working on deciding how I want to do a continuation offer for SEO school. I honestly might run it exactly like my mentor does it, for my Google Ads mentor does it. But here's the thing, like, this all takes energy. So I know there are people who are waiting for me to talk about this, and I'm also launching SEO school in April. Ideally, what ends up happening is I have the continuation offer ready by next week when the end of SEO school for the fall is done. I'm thinking I'm going to try to do that. I don't know, but ideally I do have that ready to go, and it ends up becoming like a discounted price because that they're going to be the first people building the thing, which I'm okay with. We'll see. I might run it the same way Shantae did with the Mafia. She did like 1 month for a lower price because during that month it was the first month and whatever else. And there's going to be an intro rate and there'll be a continuation rate. But I know there are people who want to work with me, and I don't have space for my retainer. And I do think that it is a great way to get get great coaching and to do the things yourself after SEO school. So stay tuned for that. If you're interested in SEO school, that launch you'll be able to enroll in late April. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to do like a big push, meaning like usually I'm like all up in the emails, the whole public launch, the whole waitlist launch. Like waitlist launch, yes, but public launch might be a little bit more low key. So if you're interested, get on the waitlist, because that's your easiest chance to make sure that you are aware of the launch and aware of things going on. Okay. And lastly, I actually am booking into August for websites. I know that sounds like it's so far away, but it's not. So I'm booking into August. My April slots are full. My May slots, I actually I need to back up. April slots are full. My May slots I took away. I am keeping them for myself. And then my June slots are taken. July, as of right now, I am not offering any semi-custom websites because I don't have time. And August is my next date. And just so you're aware, like the rest of the year, I think I'll have 2 in August, 2 in September, potentially 1 in October, 1 in November, and then maybe 1 in December. So I don't really have a ton of semi-custom website slots open for the rest of the year. This is not me saying and like putting urgency and scarcity on it. This is just reality. So I only do this with the amount of time that I have. And if I don't have the time, then I don't put the slot in there. It is a full day of work. So it's one of those things where if I don't have a full day open, then I can't offer it. And right now, July is just looking to be like a really busy month. And also it's a really great month in California. So if I can not work on a Thursday, if I want to choose to do that and go play volleyball, I can do that. And I'm super grateful to be able to do that and move my schedule around. But when I will use the word overbook, because if I'm going on a trip that Shantae and I may spontaneously go on, we're not sure because our friend has to qualify. But if we end up going on a trip, then I can't offer it. I won't have time with my current clients, because obviously my current clients are always my priority. Okay, well, let's get into the episode now that it's been 16 minutes of updates. All right. Here's the thing. This is going to be actually relatively quick, but I just want to say this is going to be about SEO, obviously. Like we're in SEO month. We're deep into SEO at this point, because it's what I'm talking about all the way through the launch. Now, this is what happened. And like, I'm not sure if this person listens to my podcast. So if she does, she'll know it's about her. I'm not going to say any names because it doesn't really make sense to mention that. But what I will tell you is that exactly what I talk about all the time is true. So like, I understand, I have it happen on very small scales, this whole thing, and I'll go through the setup in a second, but just know like this is a very large scale that this happened on. And I am just, for lack of better terms, I can't help but just be like, told you so. Like it happens, not to that person, but just to the public. Like I think people don't believe it happens, and then they see it and they're like, oh shit, like it does happen. So here's the setup. So when I speak on social media about SEO, oftentimes I will say that SEO is the way, period. Like you need to maximize your organic traffic. And I talked all about this last week. And you can be a person who has a decent website, creates blogs weekly, bi-weekly. Bi-weekly is such a dumb word because it means 2 times a week or every other week. I'm talking 2 times a week. That means 8 blog posts. You can be someone who creates blog posts weekly, 2 times a week, 6 times a week. I don't care. You can have a history since your business opened. In this person's case, I believe it was like 2019. You can do all of this stuff. And if you're not doing it right, you're going to come up on search in a shitty position. Like I'm talking, if you're not doing it well, in the best way, Google doesn't give a shit. And I say that in the nicest way, but also I'm saying it because it's so important to understand that if you don't have strategy behind your website and your content, know that you can accidentally rank for a little bit, but it's not going to be hard for someone like me, if someone near you hires me to do your SEO, to beat you. And I mean that, like, I'm saying that because I know what's going on. I get a DM yesterday about a client. She's actually in SEO school. She was never an SEO client of mine. She did a coaching call with me, but she wasn't my SEO client. So she's doing her own SEO based on what she learned in SEO school. People are like, she's improving in rank so much. What is she doing? Like people are seeing these people increase in ranks and beat them, and they're trying to figure out why. So here's the thing. The message here that I want you to understand and take away from, and like I get like really excited when I talk about this. This is my excited tone. I'm not annoyed. It's my excited tone. I need people to understand. I need you to understand that you can do SEO wrong. And I say that like, I honestly don't care if you enroll in SEO school, if you take my SEO crash course, if you benefit from all my free stuff, if you do a coaching call with me, if you do my SEO signature start. I don't care what you end up doing or if you do nothing at all. But what matters to me is that you understand two things. The first thing being that you can do all of the things that are recommended and still not come up in search if you don't do it right. And number two, Google doesn't care about what you're talking about sometimes, period. Like you could write blog post after blog post after blog post. You could have a website. But if that stuff isn't getting picked up by Google, you're not improving your authority online. You're just creating content and literally throwing spaghetti at the wall, and it's never sticking. Like we're not even hoping it sticks. It's just not sticking at all. And we know it. Now, the backstory is this person came and on the call, she was like, look, like over the past 4 years, my online leads have just decreased steadily over time. So she gave numbers where she started around like 40 something. And then the most recent year, 2024, she was down to like 34. So what she was saying is year by year, everything was decreasing. Her leads were decreasing. Like online. So she was not getting a lot of leads for her practice from Google. I looked at what she was showing me, the stats that her previous website person, it wasn't an SEO person, it was a website person. And I was looking at her content and I was like, okay, she's publishing a ton of content. And this person is a genius. Like this person is very, very, very well known. She's very, very intelligent. She writes really well. She's an educator. Like knowing who this person is and knowing how well she does her homework, I'm like, she should be getting so many more impressions and so many more people on her website. And also her local ranking should be really good. And so I told her on the call, I was like, look, I really think that just looking at this, like this seems low to me. I don't know because I haven't taken a look. This just seems really low. And I am telling you, like, you can definitely improve this. This doesn't make sense. Like what you're showing me and what you're creating, those two things and your website design in general, like she worked with someone to design her website. So I know that's good as well. I was like, this doesn't line up. Like these two things do not make sense. You should have more traffic. So with that being said, when we get off the call, I got onto my software and I did like a preliminary search of what position she's holding. And she's not even in the top 25 for most of the search terms that are related to her profession. And knowing how much content she publishes and how long she's been in business, I'm like, those two things do not add up. It doesn't make sense. We're doing this wrong, or whatever is going on is not being done with intention and there is no strategy. So like in my mind, I can't wait to attack it and be like, yeah, like do this, do this, do this. We're going to improve in this. Like I'm super excited about it. But this is just me telling you and relaying to you that you can be the best content creator ever. You can have the best website ever. But if you're creating content that Google doesn't care about, you're not going to improve your position on Google, and it's not helping your SEO, even if you think you're doing it right. And I hate saying that because I'm like, when you're a PT, most people who come to see you, if they just do something that they're not doing, typically they feel better. If it's a CrossFitter who never does mobility work and you're like, here's this awesome hip opener. If they do that hip opener most days, they're probably going to feel better. If someone who isn't moving a lot, you tell them to walk a lap around their house every day, they're probably going to feel a little better. When it comes to SEO, I'm like, you can do it wrong. You can do all this stuff and you can still do it wrong and it still won't work. And this is, again, not me saying like, give me your money so you can learn. I have a crash course for $47. Go get that. Like that will put you in a good spot. But my biggest goal is for you to understand and know that if you want to get started with SEO, your best place is to either do the crash course with me, SEO school. You can do blogging boot camp, whatever you want to do. Honestly, like pick your poison. I will say that when you do SEO school, you get everything, right? So that's like the point of SEO school. But literally everything. But the problem, I don't want to say problem, the biggest thing for me is like, I want to see you succeed. And like for this person to not be coming up in the top 3 for her profession and what she does with everything she's creating, do you know how frustrating it is to be, I'm not even the person writing the content. And I'm just looking at this and I'm being like, you're doing all this work and it doesn't matter. It's not helping you. And I'm like, I want you to do all this work and have it work for you, right? That's the goal. So anyway, this is a long episode. I hear you. Thank you for listening for this long. My message to you is just know that like I saw what I talk about on the biggest scale this past week. And I'm like, this needs to stop. I just don't want it to happen to people. I don't want you to create content and not have it matter. I don't want you to spend all of that energy doing that content and creating that thing for Google to not care and to not pick up your website and for your local traffic to not improve. She has been in business for over 4 years and her local traffic is complete crap. Like her rankings are crap. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. It should not be this way. There is a big problem that we need to fix. So anyway, all of that to say that you don't know what you don't know. And she had said that to me. She was like, it just doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't make sense. And I'm like, yes, you are right. Your gut instinct is right. It makes sense. You should have more traffic. This does not add up. So the long and the short is exactly what I said before. You can do it wrong and you can do all the work. And if Google doesn't care about it, nothing's going to change. So you already know where to find the solutions that I have. And if you have questions, let me know. But if you want to learn everything there is to learn, it's definitely SEO school. If you want to have a coaching call with me, I also do one-off coaching calls. If you just want to like chit chat, if you want to see where you're located on search results now and then get like a targeted plan, cool, awesome, sounds great. Let's do it. I'm here to chat. And that's all I have for you. These soapboxes feel so soapboxy and I genuinely like, I don't hate it because it really does need to be said, but I'm like, I wish this topic is just so touchy because I never want to feel like I'm telling people they must pay me for a solution. Like, I think that's really weird. Because obviously autonomy is the best. Like, you do what you want to do, but so it's really hard for me to say like, this is a problem and it can be a problem. And like, sometimes it can accidentally not be a problem, but then it becomes a problem later on. And I'm like, I have the solution, but like, I can't relay the solution because it's very person to person independent, right? Like the solution for you is not going to be the solution for the person next door. So it's really tough to be like, yeah, it's hidden behind this like curtain, and it's not hidden behind a curtain. Like I said, there's a $47 SEO crash course you could take if you want to get started. But the biggest thing is like understanding there's a lot that goes into this, and it's not just, you can't just make it happen. And, you know, if you did make it happen and you got lucky, there is a really solid chance that someone who put some work into SEO can beat you. And I mean, none of us really want that either. So yeah. All right, friends, I have to head out. I'm going to wrap us up now that it's been 30 minutes. I appreciate you listening. Thank you so much. Obviously, I genuinely, I say it all the time, but I talk to myself here. I'm looking at my computer. I'm looking at GarageBand with the time going by, not really talking to, literally talking to myself. Moose and Rupert are not in the room, so I'm not even talking to them. I just turned around to look to my chair, but Rupert is not there. So I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. We're going to continue with SEO stuff. So you have SEO questions, feel free to drop them to me. I'll answer them on the podcast or maybe a post. And yeah, just let me know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great week. I will catch you next time.